Rise and shine, everyone. Time now 6 o'clock here on this Wednesday morning. Thank you for starting your day with us here on Sunrise. Jason Hackett and Lauren Lemanchek with you. Seeing rain chances increase here over the next 5 days or so, but yes, John is saying it's hit and miss.
Hit and miss is the way to go. It's 5 days of rain chances, but it's going to be about an hour of rain each day. I expect it mainly during the evening hours every single day. Today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Not that it won't rain during the morning or anything like that, but it's more isolated. So let's get out here now. 67, nice warm start, beautiful out here. 68 in Marshall, 54, a little cooler off towards Bemidji. You know, I did want to show you there was a little pop-up actually developed near New Richmond. But if we're all going to get rain, this pop-up activity, we've seen this for the past month, hasn't been working out for a lot of us, right? Because they don't really move. You see this one just north of New Richmond. Very lucky if you're getting that cell. But that's all I have in the metro. We had one near Lake Independence actually develop as well. But here's the more activity down towards Marshall and down towards Worthington there. This is all moving back out to the west, though. You can see this here. How in the world are we going to get this in? Well, it's going to take a very long time, but eventually that will be the metro this evening. I'll show you future radar here in a little bit. Good morning, Cece.
Good morning. Within the past few minutes, we became crash-free in the Twin Cities Metro. A crash cleared in Mendota Heights on Highway 62 westbound. And here, a few miles south of Shakopee, a stalled vehicle cleared on 169 northbound as you make your way up toward Bloomington. So that is the good news this morning. More good news if you're north of 694 coming down from Forest Lake or in the Andover area in Ramsey. Roads look really great for now, at least for the next hour or so. Same thing in the 694, 494 loop. It's very quiet even as you head into downtown Minneapolis and downtown St. Paul. If we look south, things are really great in that area too. So I'll have more on projects that start up this morning when I see you over the next hour. Jason.
Cece, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. Developing right now, the city of Minneapolis is taking legal action today, filing for a restraining order to keep a homeless encampment shut down.
It comes one day after a mass shooting at that encampment, which is on private property. Michelle Beck's live at the Hennepin County Courthouse this morning. Michelle, this has been a long-running dispute between the city and the man who owns this property.
Oh yeah, guys, we've seen that dispute all summer long, but today we could learn if there'll be an end to all this. Now, I looked at court records online and they say that at 4 p.m. there's going to be a hearing. It's for a temporary restraining order. And Minneapolis city officials want a judge to grant that restraining order so that Hamoudi Sabri puts a stop to the homeless encampment on his private property. And yet Sabri tells us he plans to move folks back onto his lot as soon as he can, saying he's kept the encampment up for humanitarian reasons. Right now, 7 people are recovering after a shooting there this week. Also at the encampment, city leaders say conditions are alarming.
We're talking about human waste. We're talking about rotting food and other trash residing on the same place where people are living on a blacktop surface. That's not humane. That's not even admirable.
Do you feel any responsibility for what happened in light of hosting the encampment here?
Absolutely not. No, this would happen, it's gonna happen. Shooting happens everywhere.
Now, on our team's last check, the homeless encampment was clear after city crews came to clear it. However, guys, we'll have to wait and see what happens here long term. Back to you.
Could be a drawn-out court battle, Michelle. Thanks so much. Well, in less than 2 hours, some of the first recreational marijuana shops are opening for business in the metro.
Rise dispensaries are holding grand openings in 5 cities this morning. Let's take a look at the map of the locations here in the Twin Cities. New Hope, Eagan, and Brooklyn Park. That's where we find our Audrey Russo live this morning. Audrey.
Yeah, the ribbon cutting is going to happen at 8 o'clock this morning, and then at 9, that's when the adult use sales will begin. At least that's the case here in Brooklyn Park and in Wilmer. Now, I spoke to the general manager of Rise Dispensary's parent company yesterday, and he was telling me a little bit about how the process has all gone down. He says that the adult use operations in New Hope, Eagan, and Mankato actually soft launched yesterday, but there's still going to be some opening day fanfare happening this morning. All of these are medical cannabis locations that are simply adding on the adult use component for those who are 21 and up. Now, today's sales will be among the first non-tribal adult use cannabis business in the Twin Cities metro. Rise operates in more than 10 states, and the general manager tells me that they targeted Minnesota as a next stop because of its tight regulations.
We've always kind of operated in a world where rising tides raise all ships. And it's important for us to get the cannabis program off the ground the right way, where consumers have a good experience, have access to really good, high quality, and highly regulated and tested products. And some of the states we choose not to participate in, we don't want to associate our brands with, what we believe are potentially dangerous testing requirements.
Now, coming up in about 30 minutes, I'll have more on what you can expect as you're waiting in line today, and also the process of how to turn a medical-only establishment into one with a little bit more broad appeal. Obviously, they've got to weed out some kinks. Jason, Lauren, I'll send it back to you.
You sold it, Audrey.
See what you did there, Audrey. Thank you.
Well, Legacy Cannabis in Duluth was Minnesota's first non-tribal cannabis dispensary to open yesterday. The owners are from Montana and got their license in the statewide lottery back in August. That store is selling products grown by the White Earth Nation.
Well, this morning the results are in on who will fill Representative Melissa Hortman's seat after she and her husband were killed back in June. Former Brooklyn Park City Council Democrat XP Lee is the winner. He took more than 60% of the vote, beating Republican challenger Ruth Bittner. His win putting the Minnesota House at a 67-67 tie once again. So Lee celebrated his victory last night, telling us in a statement he is honored, but hasn't lost sight of how he got here. He says he's looking forward to carrying on Speaker Hortman's legacy. Senator John Hoffman, meanwhile, congratulated XP Lee on Facebook, writing, "Well done. Melissa's legacy will light your way."
After teasing it for weeks, Governor Walz officially announces he is running for re-election. It now sets the stage for what could be a first in Minnesota history. If elected again, Walz would be the first governor to serve 3 consecutive terms. But it may not be easy. A Hamline University political science and legal studies professor says the governor could face an uphill battle in his re-election campaign. David Schultz says some voters will be critical of Walz's response to the pandemic and addressing the fraud in some state-run programs. Despite his run for vice president last year, recent polling from the Star Tribune and Hubbard School of Journalism and Mass Communication shows Walz's approval rating has slipped below 50%.
Do you think that the governor's run for VP last year will hurt or help him in this campaign?
I actually think it hurts him. Walz did not help Harrison, Minnesota in 2024, and 2 of them together only won 9 counties.
Others believe Walz's VP run helped him reach more people. Schultz also says not having a clear Republican frontrunner does give Walz a boost for now. 3 Republicans have announced their run for governor: State Representative Kristen Robbins, Kendall Qualls, and Dr. Scott Jensen.
Today, a Minneapolis man will make his first appearance in court since being charged with killing a woman who had a protective order against him. David Wright faces second-degree murder and weapons charges. Witnesses say Wright shot the woman multiple times in the driveway during an argument on Sunday in North Minneapolis. Charging documents say the victim had ended a relationship with Wright late last month and had filed their protective order after he hit her multiple times with a gun.
State terrorism charges are no longer on the table against Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. According to the judge, there wasn't enough evidence to take those top 2 charges against him to trial. Mangione is still facing murder charges that could carry a life sentence. Meanwhile, the Justice Department has said it is seeking the death penalty against him in his federal case. Mangione is due back in court in December.
Time now 6:09. After 9 months of holding interest rates steady, the Federal Reserve is expected to announce a rate cut today. Economists and investors say that means borrowing money could be a little cheaper soon. However, some argue it'll push loan costs the other way.
They set the price and supply of money. That literally affects how much we pay for our mortgage, our credit card, our auto loan.
The higher the score, the cheaper it is to borrow, and vice versa. Lower scores make it more expensive to borrow.
Most analysts are predicting at least a quarter-point drop today. Traders say we could see another chance for cuts next month and in December.
Minnesota United are getting ready to host the U.S. Open Cup semifinals tonight against Austin. The Loons are coming off a big road win in San Diego Saturday night and hoping to carry that momentum. That game gets underway at 7:30 at Allianz Field. We checked just before the newscast. Tickets start around $30. They're also having a T-shirt giveaway. 6:10 now. Let's get a check of the weather with John.
All right, let's get outside. It is another warm day. I figured I might as well look like flowers as long as possible because it still feels like summertime out here.